Hi, welcome back to See Today Business. The Fed's preferred inflation gauge, known as the Personal Consumption Index, or PCE, in February was in line with market estimates as it came in at 2.5% year-on-year, nearing the Fed's inflation target of 2%. Nonetheless, the Fed still remains cautious, as the central bank's chairman Jerome Powell said last Friday that they will still need to see more data that inflation is sustainably dropping to their 2% target. However, the uncertainty regarding the Fed's rate cuts has seen capital outflow from Indonesia. Based on data from Bank Indonesia from March 25th to 27th, 2024, non-residents in the domestic financial market recorded a net sale of 1.36 trillion rupiah. Non-residents bought 0.97 billion rupiah in the bonds market, but sold a net of 1.59 trillion rupiah in the stock market and 0.74 trillion rupiah in the Indonesian rupiah securities, or SRBI.
We don't see it as likely to be appropriate that we would begin to reduce interest rates until the committee, the Federal Open Market Committee, is confident that inflation is moving down to 2% on a sustained basis. And what do we need to get that confidence? It's just more good inflation readings, like the ones we were getting last year.
The uncertainty surrounding the Fed's timeline for the rate cuts has stirred some ambiguity in the markets. However, the anticipation of those cuts has also led to some bullish runs. And to dive deeper into the Fed's potential rate cuts and market reactions, joining me now in the Bank Mandiri is Bank Mandiri's chief economist, Mr. Andri Asmoro. Hi, thank you for coming.
Hi, Valia. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, of course, it's a pleasure as well.
Yes.
So, Mr. Andri Asmoro, how do you assess the stance of the Federal Reserve on this interest rate cut? If we see the U.S. condition in its economy and indicators as well, as we saw the PCE that was just recently released.
Yeah, I think it is very interesting, that the market now is very cautious on the timing of the rate cut, actually, regarding to what the U.S. economy right now, the data is getting stronger, or there are no major changes in the pace of economic data in the U.S. So I put some keywords from your explanation before that the market is very cautious on what's the future data of the U.S. For example, growth and also the job opportunity for the U.S. So of course, the Fed will assess what's the future inflation trajectory going forward. Yeah. If there are no significant changes, for example, or downward trend of the U.S. inflation going forward towards 2%, I believe market will assess that the timing of the rate cut will be much longer than what they have already or previously expected. The market previously expected that the Fed will cut in March, actually, but the Fed, as we already know, that the Fed holds the benchmark. And now the biggest changes, including, according to market, is that the Fed will cut the benchmark rate in June, actually. So once again, like what Jerome Powell mentioned in their press conference, that it always depend on the data. Yeah, it always depend on the data, whether the U.S. economic data is getting, for example, stronger or getting weaker, for example, it will affect on the U.S. inflation trajectory going forward.
Right, so at the same time, they want to have the inflation rate going down, but they want to as well hold and wait and see as well.
Yeah.
So the Fed themselves had their dot plots of 3 times of interest rate cuts, but the U.S. inflation is proving to be quite sticky.
Yeah.
A stickier inflation. It was previously on a downward trend. So what is actually the U.S. inflation as well as economy's condition right now?
The U.S. economy is relatively mixed, actually. Yeah. They're posted with a mixed figure. If we take a look on for example, from the manufacturing data, their manufacturing index right now is actually exceeding level of 50. Means that their manufacturing index now in the acceleration territory. So it's at the highest in the last, I think, 12 months. So it reflects that the U.S. economy is getting stronger if we take a look on the manufacturing side. But coming from the retail and individual, for example, there are also weaker data from the US. Yeah, so this mixed data quite giving concern for the market right now. Yeah, whether the Fed will still stick on their plan, for example, to have like a 3 rate cut this year, for example, or only 2, or even no
one.
rate cut.
Oh,
for
even no
example.
rate cut at
Yeah,
all.
for example. So that's actually becoming the major concern. Why the US dollar, for example, right now is relatively getting stronger compared to the all major currency and also emerging markets currency right now.
Right.
So the big key, I think, whether the inflation subdue very fast, to their target, towards their target to 2% or no. In my view, I think it's very difficult that the U.S. inflation rate will touch 2%. I think by the second half they will be nearing to 2%, not 2%, only I think to 2.5%.
Okay, now we see the geopolitical factors going on, the war in Palestine. So do you think these factors will affect the inflation, or is there any other external factors that are at play before the Fed actually?
Yeah, sure. There are 3 factors that affect the global economic situation, including U.S. right now. Number 1, of course, the geopolitical factors. The geopolitical factors will affect on the global logistic costs, the global energy and also food prices. And last but not least, of course, the outlook of the global economic growth, of course. So there will be many pressures coming to the U.S. and also emerging market. For the U.S., for example, the rising oil and also food prices will also affect to their inflationary outlook in domestic, for example. So what we saw in 2022, for example, when the Russia attacked Ukraine, for example, at that time, and the fuel price, their domestic fuel prices was increasing quite significant, and that makes their domestic inflation, it was increasing quite significant. So it can be happening again this year because of the effect of the geopolitical situation right now.
Especially it might expand actually in the region.
Exactly.
Well.
So for example, if the Middle East tension is getting worse, it will affect on that logistic and also the fuel price.
Yeah. So you mentioned about there are possibilities that the rate cuts might only happen once or even none at all. What factors do we look out for that could lead to this?
I think the one and only factors that will affect on whether the Fed will cut 3, 2, or no rate cut, for example, this year is their inflation data, the future inflation data for the U.S. Whether it will be persistently in the downtrend or no, closing to 2% or no. If, for example, the inflation stubbornly stay at 2.8 to 0.9%, for example, in the medium of this year, for example, in the mid this year, it will be very difficult, for example, the Fed to cut rate as aggressive as this year. The good thing from the Fed from March meeting is that they didn't change the trajectory or the guidance, means that they still keep 3 times cut rate, and also another 3-time cut rate in 2025, and another 4 rate cuts in 2026. So it should be good for emerging market. But right now, in the short term, the market still concerned and puzzling whether they will cut as fast as they can, or they delay it.
There's a lot of uncertainties,
there's
definitely.
a lot of uncertainty.
Okay, so with this condition, with the uncertainties, as we mentioned, regarding the Fed's rate decision, how do we see it impacting rupiah and the Indonesian financial markets?
Yeah. Of course, before we talk about what's the effect to rupiah and also the bonds market, the immediate effect is on the capital outflows, like you mentioned before. So there are pressure from the capital outflows in bonds market, especially. There were already capital outflow around 33 trillion from the bonds market, but from the equities, actually capital inflows. So most of the bonds investors now concerned about the outlook of the stability of emerging markets impact from the depreciation of their currency, for example, to their bond market. And other than that, I think from the capital outflow, it will affect two things, to rupiah depreciation and also to the rising of the bonds, domestic bond yield.
Yeah, I mean, to talk about this more, we saw even since yesterday and today, rupiah already touched quite a very low,
close to 16.
exactly, close to 16,000 per dollar. So do you think this will impact a lot on Indonesian rupiah for the long run on the rate cuts?
Yeah, in my view, I think we have to keep what's the end or the directory or the target of the Fed fund rate. If the Fed still insists or persists to hold their target of 3 times cut rate, for example, this year, I think there is a possibility, if it is already touching above 16,000, it will be stronger again or weaker US dollars in the second half. So back to below 16,000.
Right.
So it's only temporary in my view, because last year, for example, rupiah is also approaching 16,000, and now we already see that rupiah was closing at 15,000, below 16,400 at that time. So if the Fed, I think we can optimize and the opportunity of the rate cut in the second half 2024.
Yeah,
So it will give benefit for rupiah.
Right, the Chief of Bank Indonesia, Peri Warjio, already saw this as well on the rate cuts for this year. So how do you think Bank Indonesia will react then? Is it going to be wait and see as well, or to take immediate action?
So Bank Indonesia, of course, they will do the intervention through 3 channels from the, for example, from the open market operation, including the DNDF and also through the interest rate. 3 channels to intervene to stability, rupiah stability, for example, and one big thing that Bank Indonesia does actually, that Bank Indonesia will assure the liquidity of US dollars in domestic, because right now the pressure of rupiah is not coming from the stronger US dollars, because of that sentiment, but also from the domestic side. It is an increasing trend of demand for US dollar because of the dividend payment season right now in the first quarter, and also the debt payment season right now. So there are many factors that affect of the rupiah depreciation right now. So Bank Indonesia will assure that the US dollar, that liquidity in the domestic market, for example, will be relatively manageable right now, so that there will be any more pressure on that.
And you see that there is a potential for Indonesian rupiah to have gain towards this rate cut?
Yeah, of course, if there is a rate cut in the global or the Fed, of course it will give benefit for rupiah.
All right. Mr. Andreas Moro, thank you so much for being here in See Today Business.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we're going for a break. When we return, we'll have the latest update from the Indonesian stock market, so stay tuned here.